You're listening to the SBA Loan Experts Podcast, your source for information, tips, and education on the SBA loan program from SBA expert Chris Hearn, founder and CEO of Fountainhead, the nation's leading non-bank SBA lender. Here's your host, Chris Hearn.
So if you could just tell me a little bit about why you have an interest in running a promotion based around Veterans Day and how you think this is going to help your company.
Sure. Well, we've had this in place for a while. We got kind of thrown off track during PPP over the last couple of years, but we announced it last week, which was National Veteran Small Business Week, and then obviously tomorrow is Veterans Day. We just always been very supportive of veterans getting into entrepreneurship. We think it's a great transition from the military to being business owners. I think it's a great way for veterans to create wealth for themselves and grow prosperity in general. So, one way we can try to give them a hand up is to cover some of the traditional closing costs that take part in any commercial loan like what we provide. So, up to $5,000. So it's basically us gifting $5,000 on a transaction they close with us. So we're able to cover, oftentimes that'll be enough to cover a real estate or a business evaluation appraisal. It's often enough to cover, if it's real estate, enough to cover the environmental reports, maybe able to cover, some of the credit, reports, different things like that. But, we do put a cap on it. I mean, we're still a for-profit enterprise, but we're covering up to $5,000 of the closing costs. So.
And now, what would you say are some of the problems that veterans run into when we're talking about access to capital in comparison to other types of people who own small businesses?
Well, I mean, I think they have issues. I mean, just like all small businesses, veterans have access to capital when they get into business. Some lenders feel like, veterans don't have relevant business experience. I disagree with that, by the way. I think the military teaches people how to become very organized, very disciplined, which are two critical pieces for entrepreneurship. So I'm not so sure that they suffer any worse than any other small business owner in terms of access to capital. But we just are choosing to focus on this particular aspect of potential business owners.
So could you speak upon some of the benefits that you've seen with working with businesses owned by veterans?
Yeah, well, the benefits historically, in my experience, I've been doing this for about 23 years. I mean, again, it's back to those couple traits that I just said, which is my experience is veteran business owners tend to be extremely organized, extremely disciplined in terms of operating the business. Those are the biggest. I mean, I'm not saying that business owners don't have aspects of that, but I think the military does a tremendous job in teaching them those character traits, which as a lender I find that to be very helpful in terms of making sure you're repaid. Yeah. What's that?
Where are you located?
We're located right outside of Orlando, Florida, northeast side, in a town called Lake Mary.
And now, what percentage of your clientele would you say are veterans?
I'd say off the top of my head, it's probably 15 to 20%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And we want to obviously grow that as well. Yeah. We think they're very good credit risks. Yeah, we think they're very good credit risks, and like I said, it's we want to encourage more veterans to get into entrepreneurship, and I think it's the right thing for the business community to try and do all they can to help veterans.
Today's episode is brought to you by Fountainhead, the nation's leading non-bank SBA lender. Fountainhead's team of SBA experts will guide you through every step of the process and get your loan closed faster and more efficient than any bank. Apply today online at FountainheadCC.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on the SBA Loan Experts Podcast.